a major gun rights organization just called out the federal government, and they've also handed the Department of Justice and Attorney General Pamela Bondi a list of the worst offenders when it comes to violating our Second Amendment rights. And not just any offenders. We're talking about 12 states that they've dubbed the Dirty Dozen, great name. And these states are systemically trampling on our constitutional rights, and they've been getting away with it. And hopefully that can change right now. This could be the spark that finally puts anti-gun states under the microscope, and it might just flip the script on how the DOJ approaches gun control in America, at least in the short time. But first, I have to do it. Soapbox time, guys. Soapbox time. I have a few words about yesterday's video to address the concern that some folks expressed after watching it. Some, I'm guessing, didn't watch it and just wanted to give me their opinion on how I should operate. Now, yes, the case was originally from 2023, right? And yes, it has everything to do with the pistol brace ban. No, the pistol brace ban has not reached its final judgment yet, meaning it's still making its way through the courts. Some people, part of some groups, yes, they have injunctions and are covered by it. But the ATF doesn't care. Now, some folks launched a bunch of insults or claimed that my information was clickbait, and they obviously don't know what's going on. So I want to tell everybody something. The government only responds to immense pressure. This administration responds to pressure when and only when it embarrasses them. Only after the gun right groups, the folks on YouTube and their audiences, only after we pressured them, and I'm going to use we several times, but that's what I'm talking about. Only after we pressured them did they remove the Surgeon General's anti-gun declaration that gun violence is an epidemic. The Trump administration did that only after immense pressure. Only after immense pressure from us did they drop the zero tolerance policy the ATF had. Only when we immensely pressured them did they address the CDC deleting statistics related to the lawful use of firearms in self-defense situations. You get the picture? They only see the light when they feel heat, right? So, yesterday, I put out a video talking about this pistol brace ban case where this gentleman was charged under the Trump administration. Charges were pushed forward, charging him with an unregistered short barrel rifle for having a CZ Scorpion with a pistol brace on it, as well as being charged with a pistol. It doesn't matter where it happened or the circumstances. It matters that it was an infringement. In this case, guys and gals, the DOJ currently is pushing forward with the charges, which is why we, again, put immense pressure on the administration yesterday. Also, what people might not know, and one of the reasons I was doing this pressure campaign, is there was a meeting in the White House that I was made aware of where the big shots were actually discussing the fact that ATF was told to drop these charges, and one individual who could make it happen refused to do it. So that was the cause or the target of this pressure campaign. And from what I'm told, we might have an announcement shortly based off of this pressure campaign. So even though the case is getting long in the tooth, does that mean we give up? Does that mean we allow these charges to just sit there? Does that mean that we accept this? Does it mean that we get to pick and choose what infringements are palatable to us? Guys, that's freaking bullshit. Either you stand for the Second Amendment, period, or you don't. We don't pick and choose based off of where it happened. This was in DC, or who the person was. An infringement is an infringement. So at least I don't think we get to pick and choose when infringements are cool, but I'm not like everybody. Does that mean we give up on the wrongs perpetrated against Americans who did nothing wrong, like the ATF did with Brian Malinowski? They assassinated him. Or what they did with CRS firearms. Do we just give up on that because they're old cases? Based off some of the comments I've seen in the last 24 hours, some people, it appears, are okay with that. And that is very disheartening. But that's the good thing about America. We all don't have to be in lockstep. So I just wanted to give you an update of why I did what I did yesterday. And we might have something to talk about here because of that pressure campaign by folks like GOA and FRAC and Second Amendment Foundation and everybody else, and you, my viewers, who made those calls. If you're passionate about our rights, guys and gals, our freedoms, and you want to stay informed, subscribe to Guns and Gadgets down below. I do not lead you astray. Sometimes I can't tell you everything, but I do not lead you astray, and I'll keep you in the loop. First, a big thank you to Attorneys on Retainer for sponsoring this video. If you carry a firearm or care about protecting your rights in court, you need a legal team that's got your six. And Attorneys on Retainer, specifically their law firm that you get with Attorneys on Retainer, the Attorneys for Freedom, is exactly that. They just updated their program, AOR, to cover red flag incidents, to also offer expungement services, and a whole lot more. They've even added civil liberty coverage. AOR will defend all types of criminal cases, and they will not deny coverage like some other groups may. And the attorney-client privilege starts immediately because they have actual attorneys answering the phone for members on the emergency number. If you can reasonably and in good faith assert that you acted in self-defense of yourself or others, they will cover you. If you're serious about self-defense, guys and gals, it's time to get serious about defending yourself in court with Attorneys on Retainer. AOR is not backed by an insurance company. They're a real law firm, and they don't have to follow the same restrictions and limitations as insurance-backed companies. Plus, they're the only law firm in the country that only deals with and specializes in self-defense cases, and they can work in every single state. Connecticut, you're back in. Plus, if you join now, I can save you $50 off your individual sign-up fee or $25 off your family plan sign-up fee, only if you use my link down below and enter the code GNG. Guys, get serious about your own self-defense. Get Attorneys on Retainer. They truly believe in defending those that defend themselves. Let's get into this. The Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, it's CCRKBA, they just went out on the offensive in the fight for the Second Amendment. They've issued a formal letter to the Department of Justice naming and shaming 12 states for what they describe as widespread systemic violations of the Second Amendment. They're demanding that the DOJ's Civil Rights Division and Pam Bondi's shiny brand new Second Amendment Task Force open investigations just like what they just recently did in Los Angeles County over the delays in processing concealed carry permits. Here's what the CCRKBA chairman, Alan Gottlieb, my buddy, this is what he had to say. Here's the letter. He sent this yesterday to Pam Bondi. Dear Attorney General Bondi, it is with great pleasure that the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms received word April 8th about the formation of the Second Amendment Task Force. Please accept my personal congratulations on what I see as a bold and long overdue move by the Department of Justice to protect one of our most important constitutional rights and the cornerstone of our Bill of Rights. As you may know, the Citizens Committee is one of the nation's largest grassroots organizations, with affiliate organizations in most states and members and supporters in every state. That being the case, I would like to suggest that among the task force's priorities might be to examine the patterns of egregious Second Amendment violations in the states of California, Colorado, Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington. All of these states have adopted laws in recent years which have essentially relegated Second Amendment rights to the level of government-regulated privileges. Our sister organization, the Second Amendment Foundation, has been involved in litigation challenging gun control laws in nearly all of those states, and the Citizens Committee has joined SAF in lawsuits, most recently in Maryland and Washington. I would be delighted to provide any assistance or input you may need, and can only wish you Godspeed in your endeavor. Sincerely, Alan Gottlieb, the chairman of the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. Guys, I know Alan. He's a great guy. Alan is very connected, and the way he worded this says the right things to the right people. Now, if you've been following the gun rights battle for a while, these names, those states, they don't surprise you. These states are home to some of the strictest gun control laws in the country, and it seems that each one is trying to outdo the others every month or so. I mean, look what Colorado just did. And Massachusetts was leading the way because Massachusetts' new law is worse than California's, who was leading the way. So now Colorado's trying to be the best, and the next state will try to outdo them. They're all bans on so-called assault weapons or magazine capacity limits, red flag laws, restrictive carry permits, and much more. Now, the Citizens Committee isn't just listing them out for fun. They're accusing these states of violating civil rights, just like any other constitutional abuse. Only this time, the Second Amendment is the one that's under attack. And here's the kicker. The DOJ has already shown it's willing to step in. Just 2 weeks ago, the Citizens Rights Division opened an investigation into the Los Angeles County for their concealed carry delays that stretched for 18 months or longer. But now, the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms is calling their bluff. If they're serious about protecting constitutional rights, then they can't cherry pick which ones matter. And that's a huge deal, folks. Because if the DOJ responds, and we'll be watching, I know some people high in the DOJ watch the channel, we'll be watching, it could set a national precedent that forces anti-gun states to answer for their policies in court. And if they don't respond, well, that exposes the political double standard, plain and simple. Now let's take a step back for a second. Remember the Bruen decision in 2022 in June? That case fundamentally reshaped how gun laws were supposed to be judged, forcing courts to rely on history and tradition, not just vague notions of public safety. But instead of backing down, states like New York and New Jersey doubled down, rewriting their carry laws to make it even harder to get a permit. And I think permits are unconstitutional too. The Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms move is a part of a broader post-Bruen backlash using the courts, the media, and now even the Department of Justice's own tools against the anti-gun playbook. They're essentially saying if the DOJ won't protect the Second Amendment like it protects every other right, then we're calling it out for what it is: selective enforcement and political bias. So what's next? Well, that's the big question here. The DOJ hasn't publicly responded yet. They just got this letter yesterday from Allen, but there's pressure building. If investigations are open, even in a few of these states, it could lead to huge lawsuits, court-ordered policy changes, or even consent decrees forcing them to comply with the Constitution. And if the DOJ ignores it, well, I know that the Citizens Committee will use that silence to fuel more lawsuits and bring even more public attention to the double standard that gun owners face every single day. Now, this isn't just about these 12 states. It's about whether the federal government will stand up for all civil rights or just the ones that align with their political campaign. And I'll tell you this, if we stay silent, if we let this kind of selective enforcement go unchallenged, guys, we're just setting dangerous precedent. I mean, not just for gun owners, but for the Constitution itself. If we continue to say, I don't want to get involved, or you know what, I'll just send the $25 a year, but I'm not going to do anything. It's too much for me to actually, type an email, pick up a phone and dial, 7 numbers. I can't do that. I'd rather watch, Sex and the City or some bullshit. Stay loud, stay involved, and keep the pressure on. I've already told you a couple scenarios where the pressure's worked so far in this administration in a short period of time. We need to keep the pressure on. So once again, shout out to our friends attorneys on retainer, because when our rights are on the line with the Second Amendment, you need a legal team that's ready to fight like hell. Have that bulldog in your corner. Check them out using my link down below and use code GNG to save on your sign-up fee. If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up, share it with your fellow patriots, and drop a comment below. Do you live in one of these dirty dozen states? If so, what's your experience been like? I know Massachusetts sucks, and it's got even more suckier since I left. And I'll be up there this weekend at an event looking to address that and support the lawsuits that are going on in Massachusetts right now. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Guns and Gadgets, turn on the notifications so you never miss a breaking update. Until next time, be safe, stay free, and stay ready. Take care, y'all.